Blir det blå? Blå. Let's go. Hi everybody, welcome to Road to Plenty. Once again, it's been a while. I think the last video I uploaded was when we had recently bought this car, and we are now on the way on a go to a zoo 2 hours away from home. So I just wanted to give you an update, or an owner's update of the Subaru Outback Field, and this is a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated version. Now, I also said when I made the last video that I would make a video on the use of ethanol, or E85, which is 85% ethanol and 15% gasoline. So this will be kind of a combined video of using ethanol and also using the car. I've done quite a few kilometers already. I'm up to the total of 16,000 kilometers because I use it going to and from work, and especially when I bought it the first few months I had a much longer trip to work, so that's why I use it. So I already done the first free service has already been done, which is every year or every 15,000 kilometers. We haven't done really anything to the car except installing this engine heater and coupe heater for the winter, which I've been using a lot. The winter was quite mild but long this year, so when it comes to the winter experience of this car, I can't really say too much of how it is. I mean, it felt really nice to drive in the snow and so on. It's got the high ride height, and it's got, you know, permanent four-wheel drive, so really not an issue. But we didn't have so much snow, so I can't really give it too much input on that. But in general, just before I start, I don't really know. I've been trying to figure out if I will do a pros and cons, first cons and then pros and so on, but I think it's better I just go through different stuff and then we'll figure out. If you don't want to watch anything more, this is a great car. We are very pleased with it. It's really a car. If somebody would ask me for an advice what car to buy, you know, I would really advise them to buy this car because it's a nice car. For what it is, it's a great car. It's got enough power, but it's not you know, it's not a fast car in that way. So feels really well put together, and for the price that I got this for, so you can't get a car of this size for that price. I don't know. This is really good. Okay, let's start with the interior of this car. This is the Field model, so it's got this fake leather, which although it doesn't smell as good as the Napa leather you get on the higher trims, well, in fact it doesn't smell anything at all. Then it's quite nice when, you know, when we have the family. You know, I don't really need to be concerned with spilling some sand in the seat or whatever, or cookie crumbles or whatever. So it's really nice. It's easy to clean. Right now the car is actually not so clean on the inside, but never mind. Now, design-wise, I'm not completely convinced, because it's like, I think the only Japanese manufacturer that is really making nice interiors is Mazda. I mean, design-wise, it's not really it's not 10 out of 10, let's say that, you know, maybe it's a 4 out of 10. But material-wise, it's really nice. I mean, it feels solid. It feels as if it's made of high quality. I'm not so convinced about the mix of, I mean, I like this matte, for example, aluminum here, but then it's mixed with a chrome surrounding of the gear lever and also of the chrome here on the ventilation. So they could have used the same material. Also, this part here, which is part of the camera that is checking me all the time, looking at my eyes, seeing what I do, that one is different material than this one, and it looks a bit strange. The interior is a bit gray, so this yellow stitching of the Field model really lightens up a little bit the whole gray interior. Another thing which I wish the car had would be a black headliner. I think that the American made model corresponding to the Field, I don't know if it's called Adventure or whatever it's called, but that one actually has a black headliner, and black headliners, in my opinion, makes the car a lot more cozy, and also feels as if it is of a higher quality. But it's just it's a thing of ambience, you know. It's nothing wrong with this bright. I just don't like it. I don't understand car manufacturers. If they only have one option, why don't they go with the dark? It will attract a lot more customers, I'm sure. Oh. Ska ta kort. Anyway, the interior, as far as the comfort goes, I can't say much about the rear seat. You can actually adjust the backrest angle of the rear seat. The driver's seat is comfortable. It's got lumbar support, although you cannot adjust the lumbar support in height. You can only adjust it in the lumbar support. You cannot put it up and down, so that's a little bit of a shame. So I would say the seat comfort is like, let's say 7.5 out of 10. It's not the best I've had, but it's not really too bad either. Okay, so another thing worth mentioning when it comes to comfort is that the car is very quiet. I guess partly due to the thinner wheels, I'd guess, and secondly, the engine, you can almost not hear the engine unless you unless you rev it about 2,000 or 2,500 RPM. So well, I'm very pleased with that. That also, I don't know, but I think that this stereo, this is the Field model, so it's got the standard stereo. It doesn't have the upgraded Harman Kardon, but I still think the sound system is really good. It could be due to the fact that the car is so quiet, but I really think, I mean, I'm not an audiophile in that way, so I think it's probably the best. I mean, there's a lot of detail in the sound, you know, it's not so blurred, so I really like that. Unfortunately, you cannot fold the back seat 40-40-20. You can only split it 40-60, and it means that well, we have our child seat on the right side, and if I want to bring something big, I only have the small option on the left side to actually fold down, unless I want to rearrange the seat and everything. Which is a bit of a trouble with this specific seat, because you have to anchor it in the floor, and I don't know if you want to get into that. But anyway, also one thing I like about this car, which I can mention now, is it's kind of, you know, it's not a car. I mean, it's a car I'm taking care of, but it's not a car that I'm afraid of using, that I'm afraid of scratching or whatever. I don't want to. I mean, there's nothing scratched so far. It's not a special car in that way. It's not like a car that I turn around and look at when I park it up, and, you know, going to do some grocery shopping or whatever. So, I mean, it is a sad thing in one way, because I like cars. I like to admire a car, but it's also nice not to have that, not to worry really about the car. So that's nice. Driver aids. Well, I've tried this lane. Well, the lane keep assist. I turn off. I only have the warning on. But you also have this, where it steers itself. And if you do that, you also need to have the cruise control activated. Anyway, I don't like any of those systems. The cruise control I don't like in any car because it doesn't come off and on the gas smoothly. You can settle it a little bit in the infotainment system. I haven't tried it in any other car than this one, but it's just a moronic system. This self-steering, in a place like this, it would probably work perfectly. But as soon as the dotted lines disappear, then it just continues out into nowhere. So I really don't get this function. I don't understand how anyone can be relaxed using a system like that. It's not for car lovers, that's for sure. Maybe for technique lovers, but it's not a good technique because it's not working well. When it comes to the drivetrain, this car, I have to say that I really like. I know that there's. If you look at the reviews of this car, you can see the reviewers going out and they give full gas. You can also see here how much gas you are actually having at any given moment. You give full gas, and then it will rev up to 6,000 RPM, just at the red line limit there. But this is not that kind of car that you would go around like give it the beans, Then you'd probably be better off with the other car. I think this gearbox, whatever you call it, it works perfectly with this car. It doesn't really have any gears. Like if I give some power now, then you see that the rev counter goes up like that. It's not gearing down. It's just something happens. I don't know how it's how the construction is, but it doesn't have gears as such. It has some fabricated gears, so as to give it a bit of a feeling of gearing. But if you just go slowly, you will never have that. It's only if you rev it up that you will have this. But you don't really feel anything. So I think it works perfectly for this car. It's just brilliant. And if you don't like it, then you've probably chosen the wrong car, because it works with this drivetrain, with this engine, naturally aspirated. I don't know, it really works fine. Now, truth be told, out on the run like this, when you're out in higher speeds, I mean not particularly high speeds, but when you're out like about 100 kilometers an hour, it's not such an exciting car. You really have to push a bit on the pedal, for something to happen. So, for example, if you lose speed and you want to increase speed when it's going uphill like it is here, then you have to press quite a lot on the gas pedal, which I try to refrain from doing as much as possible. At least when you go below 100 kilometers an hour, when you go on curvy roads, I think it's it's really responsive car. The steering is what it is on new cars. It's not maybe you don't have much feeling, but it really seems to have good road holding. I have to say that I'm impressed by how well it steers. It almost feels as if it's torque steering or something like that when you really go into tight corners. So it's really shit. I should have exited here. I haven't used the E85 fuel that much. Did 4 tanks of ethanol, and then we had winter was coming, and you shouldn't use it according to the user manual. You shouldn't use it below 7 degrees minus or something like that. So those 4 tanks of fuel, they told me that approximately the fuel consumption is about 25% higher when you are using this E85, which is, as I said in the beginning, 85% ethanol and 15% gasoline. Fuel has been unusually cheap. Gasoline has been very cheap, but now it got a little bit more expensive, and at the same time the price of E85 was lowered, so then it made sense again. And I also like to think that you can make a difference. If I can drive on an environmentally more sustainable fuel, why not do it? Most people, when I say that I'm driving on the E85, they say you shouldn't use it because it's destroying the engine. But my opinion is that if this car is sold by Subaru, it's sold by Subaru Sweden with a converter that allows me to drive any mix of 85% ethanol and less, then the car should not get any damage from that, you know. Of course, maybe that is damage that'll happen, you know, in 10 years, and then they don't have any warranty anymore. But I mean, still, it would be bad for the reputation. So, as long as it's not more expensive, and as long as it's summer, my plan is now to use the E85. Now, it is a bit annoying because, of course, the fuel consumption is higher. So before, I would say that my average fuel consumption up until when I switched to ethanol again was around 7 liters per 100 kilometers. Now on this particular round trip, it's been 9 liters per 100 kilometers, but might have been a little bit less if we hadn't been stuck in traffic a little bit on the way this morning. There is one thing that is a little bit strange. Sometimes it's a bit, it's almost like it's misfiring on some loads when you're, for example, when I let go of the gas from and I have, not now, but sometimes it's a little bit jerky when I drive on the E85. For example, now when I let go of the gas and then when I give a little bit gas again to meet the speed, it feels a little bit, you cannot really see on the camera, but you can feel it, especially if you know what's happening. So probably that's one reason maybe not to use the E85. But well, just to summing up my year or almost 1 year experience of this car, it's a great car. I think it was really good choice. I didn't buy it. We bought it brand new, but it was a 2023 model, so it was last year. It was last year's model. It's a lot of car for the money. It feels as if it's gonna, you know, it's not gonna break down if I just keep, you know, service it the way when it should be serviced. I think it's gonna be a very good car to keep. One thing that has surprised me, because I'm really like now when I'm driving on the E85, I'm on the numbers of the average consumption that I should be getting on gasoline. So it's actually a lot more if you drive it with your brain. It's actually more fuel efficient than the official numbers say, and I think that it is a bit. You know, the engine is a little bit bigger, so it's 2.5 liters. If you use it for town driving and so, I don't think it's going to be a frugal engine. But if you drive it like I do, when you're mostly out on the run, actually when I had a longer commute to work, the percentage of the journey would be less with the coal engine. I actually had even 5.7 liters per 100 kilometers average consumption. Now to my work now, I have around 6.7 gasoline. Now that the fuel consumption has been a big surprise. Also the way it handles it really handles. It's a car that handles pretty well on curvy roads, which has also been a surprise actually. Because you don't think it will when you look at it from the outside. It is a bit stiff, you know, the suspension is a bit stiff because it's riding high, so I guess that's how they wanted to improve the ride or the road holding, but it makes the car a little bit stiff, you know. Oh, it's not like riding a car with the air suspension for sure, but yeah, it is what it is. If I could change one thing on a car, it would really be the color of the headlining. That would, you know, if I could have this car with a black headliner, then it would be perfect. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was somehow informative, and maybe we'll see you next time. We will do some road trip to Norway, hopefully this summer. So we'll probably make a road trip video from that. So thank you so much for watching. Well, if you like this video, you can like and subscribe. I don't know, maybe subscribing is not completely necessary. You know, I don't release videos or upload videos on a weekly or even monthly or even quarterly basis nowadays. So if you expect something from your subscription, you're not going to get much, but it would be nice anyway. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.